What's up everybody and welcome back to the channel. We finally have the season 1 patch for the First Descendant, and with that of course the brand new Descendant Hailey. Now the way that you unlock her is slightly different to the way that we have been unlocking Descendants up until now. And pretty much if you go look at her research tab, you'll notice that amongst the normal research materials that all of these Descendants require, you'll see that we have Hailey reinforced cell DNA, 36 of those needed. We need 36 stabilizer components, we need 36 spiral catalyst ring, and last but not least, we need 36 data chips. Now this is significantly more in terms of quantity than the materials that we would usually need. We'd usually need one of each thing or something like that to basically combine it. But that's also because the way in which we acquire this resource is a little bit different. Let me explain. Once you make your way through the initial missions that come with the start of season 1, eventually you will unlock the ability to take part in these disruption events, these invasion events. Now this is primarily the way that you unlock her parts, and just using this one as an example here, you can see that usually what you can do is you can choose between just doing a normal hard infiltration, or you can choose to disrupt. Now this then shows you that you basically get a chance of 25% chance of each one of these 4 components, as well as some money. So we can see one of each here. However, if you're able to do it within a specific time limit, the activity itself, then you actually have a chance of getting a gold rank, and therefore you will get 3 of one of the items rolling. Now once again, only 3 of one type will roll, so you'll get 3 reinforced cell DNA, or 3 stabilizers, or 3 spiral catalysts. And you can get this on every run, and the point is that you can do these activities 4 times a day, so 2 per location. I've already done the other 2 today, which were at the Caligo Ossuary, which is why this red is gone there. And then you can see over here I basically have 2 that I can still do here, because as you can see, when you finish it at the top there, you get 500 iron heart particles. So I'll be 500 out of 1,000, and then with the next completion I'll be 1,000 out of 1,000, and then at that point both these activities will be cleared and it will be gone. So therefore we can do a little bit of simple math in terms of figuring out just how much effort it's going to take us to be able to unlock Hailey, and essentially how long we'll have to be grinding these activities to potentially have a shot at it. Now because we have 4 different components and we need 36 of each, that gives us a total of 144 different items that we need, right? 36 times 4. And then if we divide that by 3, which is the the amount that we can get per run, that means that we need 48 runs at this activity, right? And then if we look at the fact that we can do 4 a day, we can say, okay, cool, 48 divided by 4 is 12 days. So that's if we only go along with unlocking these items this way by doing these disruptions. The good news is there is a way for you to get more of these components, either one of the 4 ones, and that's actually by some missions, some hard infiltrations that you can play in the game, and basically you have a small chance of these dropping as well. For the first item, the reinforced DNA, we can run Magister Lab and Slumber Valley in Kingston. For the stabilizer, we can run the Shelter in Vespers and the Chapel in Echo Swamp. For the spiral catalyst, we can do the Asylum in Agna Desert and Caligo Ossuary in Agna Desert as well. And then lastly, for the data chip, we can do Haven in Hagios, as well as Mysteries End in White Knight Gulch. This means that you have 2 locations to pick to farm one specific material, so pick whichever one of those ones you feel are easier to do. I've highlighted the ones which I think are easier to do for me, at least, or which I prefer to run for this. But unfortunately, also the bad news is this: in running Magister's Lab, I did a couple of tests, I did a couple of different ones. Basically it seems like it's 1 out of every 3 times that you run one of these infiltrations, you get 1 of these items to drop. So in 3 runs of Magister Lab, I managed to get 1 of these 36 items, or rather 144 items, components to actually drop, which is super low and is pretty much a hell of a grind. The last thing that's probably also worth mentioning is, of course, none of these activities take into account that it should be dropping whichever ones of these are missing for you. So it's entirely possible that you will get a bunch of dupes to drop, and this is what's also going to slow down your progress. and therefore basically hamper you in unlocking her faster, because it could be that one of the 4 components you already have 36 of, but you keep getting those, and then basically you're not getting the other ones to drop. So I don't know if there's some inherent bad luck protection built into this. I highly doubt it. So some people are going to be a lot luckier with these dropping sooner than later. But basically the TLDR here, and before I catch some shit for putting fast on the thumbnail, is the fact that you can go through the natural accumulation of this material by essentially playing these disruptions, and that's going to give you 4 shots at gold. And if you get all 4 at gold, you're going to get 12 of these per day, and you're going to be scaling up, and it's going to take you 12 days to farm that way if you don't get any duplications. You can hasten your progress by also playing the other dungeons and possibly get lucky with more of these to drop, which could potentially drop your 12 days down to something more, I don't know, exciting, like 8 days or something like that. But either which way, this is a pretty interesting decision that they made to have her be available this way, and it is a pretty hefty grind. And my suspicion is a lot of people are gonna look at this, and once they realize the effort that is required to do it, they're most likely just gonna opt for buying her. And she's quite expensive. She's 900 in the shop, so we can just look over here. She's quite expensive, so perhaps that's also maybe the strategy behind this decision, because of course they can make a little bit of moolah out of this, out of the people that want to go fast and get it as soon as possible. But that's it. I wish you guys luck with the farm. I hope you get these materials super fast and you're able to craft her super early. And that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments down below if you prefer this way of unlocking Descendants, or rather the old way where you essentially do patterns and then basically find. Both are obviously RNG. This is just time gated RNG as well, which is probably not gonna make a lot of people very happy. Personally, for me, I'm playing the game in any case. I'm doing these activities in any case, so it's not necessarily something that irks me too much. I'm also not in a super massive rush to get through this grind, because of course we know that there's quite a bit of time until we get the rest of the season 1 stuff only in October. So it's probably a good idea to just have some things to do so we don't, you know, lose interest in the game and move on. But other than that, it's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Till next video, fucking cheers.